Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Wednesday, the 6th of March 2024. So Bitcoin and bullion hit record highs as fear of missing out. You only live once, and mystery of missing out on stocks slump. And then Bitcoin was clubbed like a baby seal. So that happens in Bitcoin. They ramp the market up. They get those that are fear of missing out, and then they hammer the market back to the downside. Big tech losses extend as Bitcoin and gold hit new highs, and the US stocks declined amid headwinds for big tech stocks. As I mentioned in yesterday's market alerts, the markets were starting to look like they wanted to pull back a bit, even if it's just for a few days, and that appears to be the case for yesterday. Economic news today, the only one there's a couple actually, ADP and maybe this one, 3 p.m. You've got Powell testifying. He's going to do this for 2 days. I think it's in front of one of the committees, isn't it? Due to testify in the semi-annual monetary policy report before the House Financial Services Committee in Washington, D.C. So it'll be interesting to see how the market reacts to what he's got to say. And then, of course, we've got the NFP numbers during Friday. Okay, let's move on and have a look at the markets and see how this pullback started by kicking off with looking at the Dow. So in the Dow yesterday, we see the market pulling back. As I mentioned yesterday, it started to look weakish, and the market pulling back to 78. 89 area there, but trying to bounce a bit today. Again, Powell's going to help the market, no doubt, later. But in the 30-minute chart, everything was fine until the Dow opened and the cash market saw sales coming in. However, before the close, you can see how the shorts were taken, got out of the positions, and when the shorts sell, they have to buy to get out, and that's why you see the market bounce back like this. You've got the low, you've got the close at the moment where the market's trading. It's got to take out the DP, the 50 EMA, the 200 MA to get anywhere near the high of yesterday. That's quite a drop in the Dow yesterday, actually. Let's just have a quick measure up from the high, which looks around about there. I can get it to do what I want it to do, down to the low, 509 points for a move to the downside yesterday. Let's have a look at the German DAX. In the DAX, not such a big drop at all. Still 2 days of red bars, but already making its way back towards the high of yesterday. You can see the market moving higher initially, trading up to the R1. Didn't get anywhere near Monday's high, but the market then moving back up and then coming down with the Dow. Again, short covering there, moving the market up overnight. Needs to hold at the 200 MA, but we're not that far off the high. In fact, just as a ballpark figure, let's just have a look up to the high. We're looking around 41 points. That can be done before the market even gets to the cash open. In the S&P 500, also note that the 1 day red bar pullback that you can see there, that's a close below the 5 bar moving average, but then the 20 bar moving average taking over and supporting these bars. So again, you can see the market starting to move back there. Got the all-time high there for the S&P. In the 30-minute chart, again sideways, then the cash market opening, market down, short getting out of the positions, bringing the market back, market sitting on the close, and then you've got the high there as well, where the market's got a potential goal and target during today. That won't happen until this afternoon, though, until Powell's speaking and speaks of QE or hawkishness or dovishness or whatever seems to drive the markets these days. It doesn't really matter what he says, it's how it's interpreted is the important thing. In the FT 100, the market remains in a sideways range. We'll just throw some numbers in here. I think the budget was yesterday, wasn't it? Or again, I don't really take any notice because if it's going to be an election, it's going to be in favour of the people or perceived to be in favour. So they're the upside targets just in case the budget is today. I haven't seen much else about it, but then I don't watch the mainstream news, preferring to do my own research and look around. But that's the upside targets if the budget is today and the market moves to the upside. In the US dollar, obviously waiting for Powell. sideways at the moment. Interesting, as I said yesterday, this should be really selling off if gold's moving to the upside, which indicates to me that gold really is more of a futures play and not fundamentals. So expect that to be returning to its mean very, very quickly, and silver being hammered to the downside. So let's have a look at those. Silver attempting to move higher yesterday was hit, and overnight the market sideways there at the moment, finding a bit of support. Like I say, don't be surprised if it's hammered back down just in one day, down $1 or $2 once we get some other bad news. Silver up and then coming back, and that's without any bad news. How it was brought back overnight in Asia, the market coming off the low, and at the moment trying to get back above the close. Meanwhile, in gold continuing to move higher. This is an all-time high according to COMEX, but not quite in the chart that I've got. I'm not seeing it at all, so I'll have to do a bit of research on this one, because I'm not seeing this all-time high at all in this particular MT4 platform. The 30-minute for gold, you can see the market up. It'll be interesting to see what Powell says today, because the last thing the central banks need is they're accumulating gold at the fastest pace since 2010 is the price going up. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if he doesn't say something that's detrimental to the price of both gold and silver, and possibly Bitcoin as well, given the euphoria behind it. Of course, the launch of the ETF is what is behind the move in Bitcoin, and then it's helped with the FOMO side of things as well. But the powers that be now, as they've got an ETF and the derivatives with the futures in Bitcoin, have now got control of it. So going to $1 million at the moment is going to be a tough one, as there have been prognostications about this going to that sort of level for quite a few years, but again, we're still only in the 60,000 area at the moment. I'm not saying that it won't, but when you've got the tools, as Rostam Benham said in 2020 when silver went to $30, we have the tools to tamp it down. And if that isn't an admission of manipulation, then I don't know what is. The gold-silver ratio is proof of that again. You can see it moving back up. As I said, these highs will be taken out in the gold-silver ratio. They won't allow silver to move up. It's still 50% cheaper than it was in 1979. It's beyond me, it's beyond anybody that's in this in the metal sphere, why it is being manipulated like it is. There's obviously going to be a monetary reason for it as opposed to an industrial one to keep the lid on it. But I suppose industrially, if you're going to promote the net zero crap, then you've got to make silver cheap for anybody to invest in it, and create solar panels, etc., and batteries and electric cars. So maybe that's another part of it as well. All right, let's have a quick look at yesterday's market activity, and a look at the overnight market as well for the German DAX. So yesterday morning, as I recorded, I said don't be surprised if they move the market back up to the low of Monday in the pre-market futures, and they had a damn good go at it, as you can see there, bringing the market back just before the cash open, and then the cash market moving higher through there, but not holding. Sale of stocks, and then the market finding support, and then just trading in a range, narrow bars, and not a lot going on there, just range bound. And this seemed to be the case throughout the morning, managing to get back above the DP, then back below the DP as the Dow futures came on stream. And then, of course, we saw the Dow moving lower in the afternoon. So this short move up before the ISM news. Now you can see just up to the L1. Take your profits because we got the news. And then the market pulling back after the news as the Dow moved to the downside, and then all the way back down towards the close and the low, and that's how it continued throughout the remainder of the evening for the German DAX. Overnight, let's have a quick look. The market sideways, some very quiet bars here, not moving for barely 2 minutes, probably because they're waiting to hear what Powell's got to say later on today. We've got the ADP numbers at 130, so the market's got to make its own direction up until that point. So price is sideways. We're not that far off the high, as I mentioned before, about 40 points. We can run the market up at 7 a.m. to do just that, get to the high, and then find the market going sideways to lower when we open at 8 a.m. So with that, I will package up the video, get it out to you, and let's see what happens during today. And as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next.